From world events to Washington and New York City, here's your concise world update for Thursday, January 22nd. President Donald Trump said Wednesday he would hold off on imposing tariffs on 8 European countries that were scheduled to take effect February 1, citing what he described as progress toward a U.S.-led framework on Greenland and Arctic security. Iran's government declared on Wednesday that it had put down weeks of anti-government protests after a sweeping crackdown that left thousands dead. Divisions sharpen over President Donald Trump's proposed Board of Peace, a centerpiece of his Gaza peace plan, as several Western European countries declined to participate, even as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu agreed to join. A Japanese court sentenced the man who fatally shot former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe to life in prison on Wednesday, more than 3 years after the assassination that shocked the nation. A Texas jury on Wednesday acquitted a police officer of child endangerment in deadly Texas school shooting. Immigration enforcement arrives in Maine, even as a federal appeals court on Wednesday paused restrictions on the tactics federal agents can use against protesters in Minnesota. U.S. Supreme Court justices on Wednesday signaled deep skepticism toward President Donald Trump's unprecedented effort to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. A former flight attendant for a Canadian airline posed as a pilot and received hundreds of free flights, pleaded not guilty on Tuesday for wire fraud charges in federal court in Hawaii. Vice President J.D. Vance is set to visit Minneapolis on Thursday as tensions simmer between the Trump administration and local officials over the president's immigration crackdown. House Democratic leaders told members in a closed-door meeting Wednesday that they plan to vote against a bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security, citing concerns that it fails to adequately rein in immigration and customs enforcement. Maryland Governor Wes Moore voted Tuesday to recommend a new congressional map that would place the state's lone Republican lawmaker into a district more favorable to Democrats. The House Oversight Committee voted Wednesday to hold Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress for defying subpoenas tied to its probe into Jeffrey Epstein. A Manhattan judge ruled Wednesday that the congressional district, represented by Republican Representative Nicole Malliotakis, is unconstitutional and must be redrawn, a decision that could hand Democrats a prime pickup opportunity in an already competitive fight for control of the House. Police are investigating a second consecutive day of anti-Semitic vandalism after dozens of swastikas were discovered at a playground in Brooklyn's Borough Park neighborhood. The mayor of New Jersey's largest city and Newark's public safety director are urging residents to be cautious about what they describe as a stream of misinformation following a deadly police shooting earlier this week. Police in Connecticut say a snowplow driver was under the influence of cocaine when he crashed into a home last month, causing extensive damage. 3 tons of mourners' flowers to be transformed into art. Jewish artist Nina Sonadza saw a chance to immortalize the bouquets, commemorating Australia's deadliest mass shooting. U.S. stocks closed higher on Wednesday after President Donald Trump said a framework agreement on Greenland had been reached, easing fears of new U.S. tariffs on European allies. President Donald Trump says his push to make homeownership more affordable centers on lowering borrowing costs and curbing the role of large investors in the housing market. From the Middle East to Wall Street, you're up to date.